Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
Noobum, take us through the Hurricanes and the Chefs, please.
Well, we should, for this one, see the return of the grub Dane Coles, especially with the Safa-Moore out, even though they have good depth with Ricky Riccitelli. We should see Dane Coles. And for the Chefs, as a Lachlan Boshier owner, I'm really anticipating his return. So check out the casualty ward for this one. Everyone's been holding their breath for this. I'm hoping this week that he starts on the bench. Do we know anything further, guys?
No, but I've been on the phone, mate. I've told him to hold out another week. Don't rush it back. There's no need. You know what I mean?
I have a question. Noobum, I have a question. If they bring Lachlan Boshier back in, do they just drop out Sam Cane? Is that what they're going to do to make their back row the best?
I am a big Sam Cane fan as well. So no. Lachlan Boshier will play 6.
Do you mean the All Blacks captain and All Blacks player of the year last year, Sam Cane? Is that who we're talking about?
Ask Nels the question, mate. Ask Nels the question.
Don't know who you do. Look, I'm a big Cane fan, but I'm a bigger Boshier fan.
I don't think you sound like a particularly big Cane fan. But anyway, look, moving on. So just no Boshier, please. Let's take note of that. Good.
Hopefully he's on the bench. But we'll see. This is the opportunity for these two teams. They're both 0 from 2. So whoever wins this one, if it's a draw, it's going to be very interesting. But
I think they brought in super time in Super Rugby Aotearoa this year as well. They didn't have it last year, but they have this year. So no draw possible, which is good.
Yeah, that's right. Kiwis are bringing in all these rules that we have. Sorry, Nels?
Sorry, a draw is still possible. After the 2 5 minutes, nothing's happened, then it's a draw.
It's a draw. Yeah, right. There you go. But either way, it's an opportunity for one of the teams to get off the bottom of the ladder. For the Chiefs, I think it's especially big because if I'm not wrong, I don't know, either one of you guys can correct me. If they lose this, then it's the longest losing streak a Kiwi team has ever had. Is that right?
That's true. They've equaled it this week, losing to the Crusaders, but next week they will surpass it.
And they're also in this matchup, it's been 7 matches since they've beaten the Hurricanes. There was 1 draw in there, but they've lost 5 of the last 6 and drawn 1.
Yeah, right. And they're playing at the Cake Tin. Is that right too, as well? Do we know that?
So. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So the Chiefs, they've got a lot to lose here. And they've always kind of, the last 2 games that they've played, they've always started strong, as we've discussed previously. It's whether they can actually put in an 80-minute performance. It's for me. I really think they're still their forward pack is missing a lot, especially the tight 5. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they go.
I think it's about whether they obviously play a full 80-minute a game, but they get out to such an amazing start. Can they put enough points on the board to just get ahead far enough, to put enough doubt in the mind of the Hurricanes? You know what I mean? They start really well when they bag 1 try, but then they've fallen apart in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. So they really need to push through to the first half an hour.
Yep. But is it fitness? What's wrong with them? Is it fitness? Is it mindset? I don't know. I think there's just something a little bit missing there for the Chiefs.
That's a really good question because when they're in that first 10, 15 minutes, it looks like, they're unbeatable, really, just the way they're playing. So I don't know how the wheels fall off. It can't be fitness when you're 15 minutes into a game. Obviously, last week was not a good example because they had, a pretty big pivotal decision go against them. But the week before, I can't answer how it all fell apart.
Yeah, look, it's quite tricky to think of the same outcome from those 2 matches. Yes, they both started them well. The biggest thing to take out of this is they start matches well. Last week it was changed, I think, by refs' decisions. So if they can start this match strong, they actually have a solid chance to continue on and win this match. If they can't start well, I don't know, wheels are going to fall off.
Yeah, and I think, a part of it actually has to do with the Chiefs 10 at the moment. I don't think Gatlin has been that great. I think he's actually been pretty poor. I think his kicking game's off. There are a lot of times where he's kicking out in the full that I can just remember at pivotal moments. And I think he's just struggling a little bit to control the tempo, where his forwards are at times. And there are just so many unforced errors when there doesn't need to be. And especially the only thing for me is being against the Hurricanes is that he's up against gun batshit. And, that could actually be a matchup for Gatlin, which is good.
You mean he'll go into it confident this time instead of
exactly
going
right.
up against Richie Mo'unga. Yeah, I think it's interesting in that we talked a little bit about, and we'll get to, I guess, again with the Blues preview, but we've talked about Aotearoa Black just finally kind of being what the Blues have needed. A calm, cool head, offering some composure and some structure. I think Bryn Gatland kind of brings that, like he plays that way, but it's actually that's not how the Chiefs need a 10. If you think about all the Chiefs' really good 10s in the last few years, Aaron Cruden, even D-Mac playing a little bit of 10.
It's not their DNA, is it?
No, exactly. They need a 10 who just throws caution to the wind and goes full whack at it. So I don't know how he will kind of adapt and mold into that, but I think, the Chiefs staff at the moment have said they're fully backing him to, bring Gatlin another couple of weeks or whatnot. But, if Caleb Trask is fit and fully available, I think, for mine, I mean, I haven't seen enough, but the youngster, Rivez Rehana, or however you say his name,
he just loves the hype train.
I do. I love a hype train, man. I am the hype train. But he seems exciting. Another kind of fullback /10 that I just throw him in. You know what I mean? Why not? What have the Chiefs got to lose, mate? They've already lost everything.
Rugby. They have to lose the rugby, mate.
They've lost everything.
Gatlin is a skilled operator. He has not been showing it, I think, very much in the last few weeks. But I do think he needs some experience around him and players, making his life easier, which they haven't done. As Noobum touched on earlier, their tight five hasn't been doing the job for them that they need to give him a good platform. They had Anton Brown on the bench last week. He had Tapia there, not very influential. He just needs the people around him to make his life easier. And they're definitely not doing it at the moment.
Yeah. It doesn't help that his daddy's not there too. So
very good.
I'm sure he doesn't listen too much.
Yeah, I think. Look, they'll certainly have a better platform this week. It's not a Chiefs forward pack going up against the Crusaders and getting torn to shreds. So certainly they can expect their line out and scrums to offer them a lot more. So I think this week this will really be a very telling week in terms of Bryn Gatland and his career at the Chiefs. So we'll have to see how it.
Well, while we're still on the Chiefs, what do we think about the centre pairing? The old debate.
The debate rages on. Well, obviously, it's where do you want it? It starts with where do you want Anton Lienert-Brown? Do you want him at 12 or 13? In 13, he offers more in attack, and in 12, he kind of offers exactly what we were just talking about. That a lot more support to a young 10, and defensively he's rock solid there. Personally, I love seeing him at 13. I just think that he can score more points from there. I think the way we've thought about it previously is that if you have Anton Lienert-Brown at 13, Alex Nankervel should probably be your first choice 12, with Tapia, who's more of a 13 rather than a 12. But I don't know where Tapia and Nankervel sit in the rankings. I think Sean Wainui, who's been playing 13 the last couple of weeks, I think people have easily forgotten Sean Wainui was largely a centre. He played centre at the Crusaders as well.
The issue is he hasn't really done much.
I would want to see Wainui back to the wing. And then
they rate him though. They love Wainui.
But look, the biggest thing for them is they've done this for a few years now where they're rotating between their centres. Pick a centre pairing and stick with the centre pairing.
Yeah.
Because it is not working, shifting them in and out every single week. I don't get Anton Leonard-Brown on the bench last week. Maybe it was something to do with
it was injury related last week.
a niggle or something. Well,
Yeah.
give him the week off.
Mm.
Don't put him on the bench. Give him a week off.
I know.
What, do you
it's
want
kind of
to
a weird
just drag
decision,
that injury throughout the season? Like, realistically, they've just got to pick and stick. And for me, they're more than likely, if they're going to pick and stick, it's Tapia. I'd love to see Nankerville, and I'd love it to be him, but I just don't think he is their long-term future and in their plans long-term, even though I think he's had some brilliant matches. And he even earned that centre jersey at the back end of last year above Tapia. But they're going to pick and stick. They need to pick and stick, and I think it means we see Anton Leonard-Brown and we see Tapia.
It'll just give the 10 as well a little bit something to work with, a bit of consistency for him in his own mindset.
And he's played a couple of games and had different centre pairings, different guys outside him each week.
That's it. I also think you're right. Anton Leonard-Brown needs to kind of be settled in one of the jerseys. Like, obviously, yes, he can easily play 12 or 13, but the same as picking and sticking with either Nankerville or Tapia, I think ALB needs to just be put in one jersey and stay there as well. I think just that consistency of selection. And look, Tapia could very well be a 12. I see Tapia in a very similar mold to Hunter Paisami. Similar type of player, developing a similar skill set. I don't think we've seen him put out as many big hits, but he's quite capable of that. Certainly in the provincial competition, he was laying some people out. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. For mine, you have Nanai Suturo and Sean Wainui on your wings. And you're going to have ALB and Tapia in the centres. So,
yeah, fair enough. And from the Hurricane side of things, obviously, Artie Sevillas is going to carry the Canes on his back, but there are other players in the team. So we've got a Ferrari. We've got a Ferrari in the garage. When are we going to use him? As in Nani Laumape.
That's it. The mini bus. It's been very interesting how they have used him in 2021. Really, like almost as a diversion. We spent our whole pre-season preview talking about how good Laumape is going to be, and how simple a plan it is when you just give him the ball. It doesn't even matter that it's not like the other teams have learnt that Laumape is this wrecking ball and they can't do anything about it. It doesn't even matter. Just give him the ball, even if they know he's getting it. Just let him run the ball. But he's been passing all game. What's been going on?
I think one or two things are happening. They're either giving everyone a false sense of security and goes, he's not that good anymore. And then they'll just unleash him and he'll just run through every single person in front of him. Or they're just crazy. Like, why else? What else are you doing? It's got to be something, you're hiding. Are they trying to make people worry about the others around him? Like, I don't really get it at the moment.
They've just been saving it up for this game to really have Laumape score 4 tries against the Chiefs this week.
He's going to unleash.
They've got one of the better set of pairings in Aotearoa with Laumape and Umaga Jensen. So they've got to use the two beasts in tandem.
That's it. And I think, look, the only other real questions around the Hurricane side is that back row. I think for mine, look, Reid Princip is a bit of a workman, but I've never been particularly that big of a fan of his, and I just think they've got better options. I think their best back row and what they will want for this game, for quite a fast game with the Chiefs, is Artie at 8, Duplessis Karifi at 7, and then either Fafita or Flanders in at 6. I just think that will complement them the best.
Really just depends on how many yellow cards they want. Do they want to get 2 yellow cards and give Karifi the chance to do that, or do they want to bring him on later?
Fair call. Fair call. How do we see this? How does this play out, fellas? What do we reckon?
I think I'll probably be on the other side of the fence than you boys. I think the Chiefs are going to get this one done. I think it will be, them starting early. I think Anton Leonard-Brown, back in the starting jersey will be a good thing for him as well. And he'll be hungry after seeing the boys go down again last week. I think they'll get it done. And in a tight one, I'd say by, 3 to 5 points.
Yeah, I'll go next. I see the Canes taking this one out at home at the Cake Tin, and I see Lamar. Look, it's going to be a day for the buses. Lamape and the OG bus Sevilla having a field day.
Stop.
I think the Canes will get up for this one.
I'm
Score.
with
Score.
you.
I'll say Canes by 10 points.
Ooh, that's a big margin.
Mm.
I'm with you on this one, Craigs. I reckon the Canes, like Mel said, probably by 3 to 5, just with home advantage.
Very
So
good.
the easy bet, right, is you go the home team 1 to 12. Easy bet. You guys aren't that exciting. Chiefs are going to win.
Again, gamble responsibly.